hello, goeiemorgen, dumelang, good morning, and greetings to you at home. My name is Vaylen Kirtley. Welcome to the Ladies Club. We're glad that you can join us as we profile South Africa's women in sports.
The Ladies Club. Lebo Motsoeli, and it's really great to be on your screens right here, more SABC2 where you belong. And of course, you are welcome to join in the conversation at Twitter. It's at @SportedSABC, at Vaylen Kirtley, at Lebo Motsoeli, 77 fella, hashtag Yarona, and in the Ladies Club. We're also on Facebook as SABC Sport. Also use hashtag the Ladies Club.
Today we're celebrating women who pack a mean punch in the boxing ring. Boxing is fast becoming a popular sport for women in South Africa. And we're not just talking about a way to actually keep fit, because it's certainly one of the best ways to keep fit, because you can get out all that stress and frustration at the same time. A lot of women find boxing empowering, and when they train, they want to take it a little bit further, and there's some ladies that actually do.
Ooh, Eldo's boxer Melissa Miller features high on the list of South Africa's talented female boxers, and we have her in studio today, so she'll be telling us a little bit about her career later on the show.
I can't wait to actually hear from South Africa's Bantamweight champion. Please feel free to join in the conversation, share your views on our topic, and comment on anything that you'd like to on social media. It's just so easy. Just use our hashtag the Ladies Club.
Let's have a look at inspiring stories of sportswomen you should know about. Kajena Ruwaka Nolisindi Soboy, who will lead a Springboks women's team featuring youth and experience on their tour to Europe this month, Vaylen.
Well, the Springbok women's team will play 3 tests against Wales, Spain and Italy. It marks, can you believe it, the national side's first tour since 2014. That's how long they haven't been active for on the international scene.
Wow, that's really not good. But the seeds of success in every nation on earth are best planted in women and children. Quote ena Izwahu, the former president of Malawi, Joyce Banda.
It's amazing because although she's not in office, she still remains so relevant, and she's getting a lot of support ahead of next year's 2019 elections. She was the first vice president of Malawi and one of the acclaimed female leaders in Africa. She's the second female president in Africa and the first female president of Malawi.
Absolutely. She defied many stereotypes and rose to prominence as a relentless women's rights advocate. I really love her work because now we've also got the current only female president on the continent from Ethiopia, just recently been put into place, and that is Sahle Work Zerede. And I mean, incredible work that we're seeing from the female leaders that are coming out of our continent.
Especially when there's so much being spoken about the leadership in Africa. We see ladies that are forging the path. And as I mentioned earlier with Joyce Banda, she may actually return into power. We'll just have to wait and see what happens in 2019. But it's great that we have those ladies that are ensuring that women's matters are put to the forefront of everybody's minds, especially on our developing continent. So we're off for a quick break. When we return, we've got our game changer, Melissa Honeybee Miller, inside studio. To stay with us.
Welcome back. Please do join us on Facebook and Twitter. We also would love to hear your comments regarding the show. The Ladies Club.
Our guest today is Melissa Honeybee Miller. She took to the boxing ring when she was 16 as an amateur and started boxing professionally since 2011. But I know she had a little bit of a stint before that when she was 16 years old.
Sure, and her interest in sport was then ignited when she joined the Eastside Boxing Club to lose weight as a high school athlete, something that we've all done.
She has since taken the boxing world by storm and making her mark in the male-dominated sport. Welcome to the Ladies Club. It's so good to be chatting to you, Melissa.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Since the age of 16, the bug has bitten you, and you have not looked back since, even though you took a break in between. But why boxing?
They say when it's in your blood, it's in your blood.
Yeah.
It's a discipline sport, eh?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it builds your confidence. So knowing that you are a lady or female, in terms of we always afraid of something new. And boxing is different, so it actually helped me to build my confidence personally and to put me out there where I got the courage where you're not going to walk over me. Hell no, I'm not here to be walked over. I might be short, but I don't think I'm a walkover. So it gave me that confidence to always stand up for myself, never doubt myself.
Can you tell us about that journey to actually taking you into the boxing ring? Because you've always been around sport. You grew up doing sprints, long jump, and then you found yourself in the boxing ring. Explain that journey to us.
I trained with boxers, gained some weight, and then I trained with boxers. So every night I will wait for them to finish up. After that, and then we'll go home. So watching them sparring and all of it, look like, oh wow, this is interesting. I would really love doing it. And when I started doing it, the first time I went into the ring, I realized like it's really a very nice sport because sparring and fighting are two different things. So being in the actual fight made me realize that I really love the sport and I believe I'm good at it. So I must just stick to it and keep at it.
And how were you welcomed by the community of Eldoradopark when you decided, actually, this is something that I'm not just doing as a part-time, as a fitness method. I'm really good at this and I want to take it on professionally?
In a positive way, very nice and positive way, because like normally people will be like, hi boxer. So they all knew me like, these people, I mean, you can call anyone boxer, right? At the end of the day, I'm still a lady. So now after I won the belt, now it's hi champs. Like, okay, that's a better statement. But they all of them are happy for me because it's like in Eldos, there's not always good publicity coming from Eldos, and now we're having something great that's coming from Eldos and it's being put out there so people can see that there is good in Eldos. We do have talent. It's just that with all the bad things that's happening in Eldos, we're not getting recognized really.
The good story from Eldoradopark started a little while ago because before Melissa became the South African Bantamweight champion, she was awarded by Boxing South Africa at their national awards in Durban. It was in January a year ago that she got the Female Prospect of the Year. Let's relive those moments.
Female Prospect of the Year is Melissa Miller.
And this was just 2 years ago that you won the 2016 Female Prospect of the Year. What comes into your mind when you see those visuals again?
It was like awesome. Walking down there, actually, now I say I walk like a man. Walking down there, like everybody being happy for me, it was an honor and a privilege to be part of it.
And what emotions are overcoming you now?
When I look at it, I get excited all over again. It's like I'm there waiting to be called out. So I'm happy and I'm overwhelmed with joy. Like it really happened, and it was one of the things that actually put my name out there. So from winning Prospect of the Year, a lot of people knew me, a lot of boxers, the people in the community. So everybody actually started recognizing me, which it's something great that happened to me.
Wow. People may turn on the TV now and they see you sitting with the national bantamweight title. They know that you've won awards, but they don't know that you've also tasted defeat in the ring, and it's been really, really tough for you too.
Losing is like, at times when you have a great loss, you still have that confidence that I did a good job. I fought and then it was a great fight. But there's those fights where you lose and bad, and I'm an emotional person, so I'll be crying. And one of the fights after winning Prospect of the Year, I lost it, which it was one of my biggest loss. Actually, I wanted to quit boxing because I felt like, no, God's being unfair. Why? Why am I losing? Why? And at the end of the day, that fight, I lost it. I knew I lost it during the fight.
During the fight, you could see that you're losing it.
Exactly. Although I prepared, I was training for it and everything, everything just went wrong. From round number 1, everything went wrong. I didn't perform like I normally perform. And when they announced it at the end of the fight, who the winner is, it was for the Gauteng belt against Simangele Adebe, it broke me. I felt like, it's the end. I'm no longer boxing. I'm not interested in the sport anymore. It's my last. I won't be hurt by boxing anymore. So after that, one of my trainer that I'm training with now, son, phoned me. He used to be my trainer as well, and said to me, I heard you're not boxing anymore. I said to him, yes. And he says to me, no, don't quit boxing for anyone. You could come back to it. You have a fight, there's a promoter that wants you to box on his ball. There's a fight lined up for you. And I said to him, okay, in any case, I stopped boxing. I don't have a trainer anymore and all of that. And he said to me, I'll help you prepare for this fight. That's how I started joining OBC. And ever since I've been full-time there with him. So it was a blessing in disguise losing the fight, but I gained more from losing the fight. I never looked at it at the time when it happened, but afterwards I saw the bigger picture of why I had to lose that fight.
You definitely have to lose some to gain a bigger picture, or to see the bigger picture. But we're going to continue with Melissa in studio and her journey a little bit later as we take a little bit of a breather, maybe.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with the Ladies Club. As we saw before the break with our game changer in conversation, Melissa Honeybee Miller, sport certainly is an emotional roller coaster, and boxing is certainly one of those sports that takes you on that emotional roller coaster.
Sure, but before we get into our conversation, let's now zoom in on a lady who has blazed the trail in sporting world. Our superstar today is Sandra Lee Almeida. She is the first South African female boxer to turn pro and the first white woman to win a title fight.
She was once rated number 11 in the world for boxing and was undefeated in Muay Thai boxing. Her career highlights, however, include winning the South African light welterweight title twice.
Sure, she's had an incredible career. So when you hear such stories about other women boxers in South Africa, how do they make you feel, and the legacy perhaps that you guys are leaving behind for our women athletes?
Yeah, it's awesome, right? It's like you get it. I know I'm going to do it one day.
Yeah.
One day I'll be there on top. Because you don't just want to be an SHM. You want to reach for a higher destination. So if she could do it, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
You've been involved in intercontinental fights before. What is your goal now that you've finally grabbed the national title?
I want to defend. That's a definite that I want to defend. But after this, I would really love to have a shot at any world title belt, as long as I have a shot at becoming a world title.
And how far or close are you to achieving that goal and that dream?
Now that I've won the national belt, I'm much closer than not having a belt at all, which makes it harder. But with the belt, I'm much closer. So with my manager pushing and working towards it, I believe it's not far.
And tell me about the challenges that you still face, because people or some women may look at you saying, oh, she's a national champion, everything should be easier now for you. Is it? What are some of the challenges that you are still facing?
Some people, not everybody, but a lot of people that doesn't do boxing, they think like now you reach.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not rich. So they think that I have a lot of fights always lined up. As with women boxing, it's not the same with male boxing. Women boxing, we don't get as much fights as males. So with us, you'll find we'll have about 3, if you're lucky, 4 fights for a year.
Sure.
Some even more. Last year I had a good year. I had about 4 to 5 fights. Last year was a good year to me. But at times when we don't fight, we don't have money. We don't make money. And then with that, when you fight and you get paid, you have to see to whatever you need. So that's your supplements. And if you don't have a sponsor, like in my case, I don't have a sponsor, you have to see to your own supplements. You have to see to your techies that gets finished. You have to see to your kit. You have to see to everything else that needs attention. So when I have a fight, then it helps me at least so to get to all of those stuff. So I'll stick to all the trials and tribulations I'm going through now. I'll stick to it because I know one day I'll get up there on top.
Sure.
Not only is it fighting for forging a path when it comes to boxing and achieving your dreams, but then you've also got to manage being a mom. You've got an 11-year-old son. Tell us how you actually do that.
I discipline him a lot, which I even teach him that in life you have to work hard, my child, although you're small now. But there's certain things that you have to do because you have to do it. To achieve anything in life, you have to work hard. For example, in his sports, when he prepares for sports, I always tell him, you can't just go and run. You have to practice. You might have the talent, you might have the skill, but with that comes practice. And if you don't practice, you won't achieve it. So you have to work hard in whatever you want. And then don't think you must neglect your schoolwork, boy. I mean, education comes first, no matter what. So you have to see to your schoolwork and then the other things. And then we move on. We're here to work together. We're not here alone. So when I'm not here, there's everybody else around you. But make the weight lighter on the next person.
It sounds like you're a great motivation for him, but what keeps you going? Who motivates you? How do you keep the momentum going? Even when there's days where you only hear that there's only 3 fights a year, you still need to keep going.
Oh, I have a lovely trainer. You know, even preparing for a fight, when he sees maybe that fight's going to be a bit tough for Melissa, he'll be giving me motivational messages to encourage me like Melissa. He said to me once, you know what, Melissa, to be a champ is to beat a champ. So you can't just be a champ and just, like, to be a champ is to beat a champ. So you always have to be in the gym and always prepared for the next fight, although we don't have a fight. But you know, with boxing, there's always that fight that just comes up that you haven't prepared for. So you always have to be in the gym. And when we don't have fights, don't worry. We'll get fights. It's not the end of the world. We'll get them. It's just we need to be patient, that's all. We know the game of boxing and that's it. And then I have my mother also that's like, Melissa, you need to wake up and go and run.
In the mornings at 5.
Like, you didn't run today. Oh, Mama, do you know Melissa?
Aww.
So she also motivates me a lot where she pushes me and also give me encouraging words. Like, you know, you are good. So don't let it slip through your hands. Work at it.
How would you describe your style of boxing?
The fights that I've watched, for me personally, I don't see a specific style. The only thing is that I'm short, which the bob and wave comes in a lot of times. But with every fight, I see something different in every fight. And under my new manager, with every fight, I see myself improving in every fight.
So what's your goal when you get into the ring? Is it just to knock her out when you get in there in round 1 or follow your trainer's instructions?
My trainer always says to me, we're preparing for ladies' fights, 10 rounds, championship fights. We're preparing for 10 rounds. We're not preparing for a knockout. So Melissa, be ready for 10 rounds.
Sure.
when there's a knockout, it's a bonus. But we're preparing for 10 rounds. So when we get in there, we did the hard work. Now we're just coming and doing our work. So we've put already everything in. We're just finishing the job. Yeah. That's all. So when we get in there, listen to me, stop doing your own thing.
and Melissa, we're running out of time, but who would you like to fight? Who would you like to have in the boxing ring? International boxer that you have your eyes set on.
I'm climbing the ladder on my own pace.
Yeah.
So specifically, I don't have a...
I like that.
Boxer that I'm actually intending on. I just want a rematch.
Which one? Which one?
Sheradine Fortuin.
Oh.
You know that lady, we fought once in Cape Town. My face was swollen like this. First and only time, never ever again.
I wanted to ask about that. Are you not scared of taking the blows to that pretty face?
The face is tough now. So that was me starting out boxing. So the face was a bit soft. So when that fight happened...
Surely there's no such. What do you mean soft? The blow to her head is a blow.
But you know, the skin is so soft. And at times, like, I remember with that fight, it was my 4th fight in the professionals. And so not all the times, but with her, so with one, I think she gave me one good punch. And I could feel my skin swelling up a bit. And then as the rounds went on with all the punishment that I received, got bigger.
I love how she just
And it made me realize how much I love boxing. Because to look like that, the following day, people didn't even recognize me. They're like, am I her? Melissa? I said, it's me. I didn't even recognize you. And that made me to see how much I love it, because with my face like it, and after that fight, it was like, now I really want to box. Sure. Now I want to become a world champ.
That does not make me want to box.
Now I understand what they mean when they say love hurts.
Yeah, no.
Love really does hurt.
No.
Melissa, thank you so much for coming into studio and being our guest. It's been wonderful chatting to you. We look forward to seeing maybe a rematch with Miss Fortuin in the future, and whoever may be in your path for you to defend that title and go on to win an international title of any kind.
Thank you so much. And that's all we have time for this week. The Ladies Club. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Remember, until we meet again, that greatness is always earned and never ever given. Until we meet again, bye-bye.